it's just me, just popping in. I'm doing the Margarete Miller postcard challenge this year, so I thought I'd just show you how I go about it and what I'm going to do. I've got a couple of postcards here. So this one here, just showing you that that's what it looks like. So I'm going to do one off camera, and that's the first one, and then I'm going to show you another one that I do on camera, just so that you know that I started off with this. All right, so I'll see you in a minute. Come on, let's go. Right, there we are, that's it finished. So I used my grandma's recipe as the inspiration in the back, so that's her writing. Always makes me happy when I see that. And my grandma was all about love, so I used the little saying, be love, there. This stick here is out of my antiquarian sticker book, which I thought went really nice with the yellow. The V is for Vera, that was her name, so I thought that was nice too. The back has some brown paper on it here, which I then stenciled just lightly with a little bit of brown ink on my stencil. And I added a little bit of this, which is just from embroidery cotton, which ties in nicely with the black there. Then lastly, I put down, this side just looked a bit plain, so I put down some washi tape. And the nice thing about this washi tape is it's sort of see-through. I hope you can see that. So you can still see her writing through the washi, which is really nice. All right, so that's my first postcard done. I just wanted to show you kind of what I was doing. And that's, the back is still just plain now. So it started off, that was the British Hedgehog Preservation Society. So that was my hedgehog postcard that I showed you at the start. That's all done now. So let's work on the next one. So let's have a look. Down a spare piece of paper just so that I can glue. Otherwise my desk gets covered in stuff. So there we are. This is my postcard. It's a 4x6. I don't really know where I got it from. I'm thinking it might have been out of one of those old colouring books, because it looks like it's got some colouring started here and there. The back's just blank as well, but it's just the right size, and the substrate is good because it's sort of paper. It means the glue will stick onto it really well, so that's great. I've got this image that I've had for a while that I really, really love, and I'd like to use that if I can on the postcard. I'm liking the hinges here as well, so I did think about putting it over this side. I'm not really sure. So let me just have a play around. I'll leave it there for now. I've got now Margarete's postcard challenge is actually metal. So you have to include something that's metal. Also, it has to be, the whole postcard has to be at least 1/3 vintage or old stuff that you use on there. So this is really old. It's one of those old metal stoves. I don't know if you can see that. The door would open here and the wood would go in there. It's got like a guard around it, so that's metal. So that's, I really like that. I'm thinking maybe that could go somewhere here. And then I've got an old receipt. This is from 1961. You can see the postmark there. And you can see the writing there, 15th of the 4th, 1961. So it's almost to the day. And that's a receipt for somebody's pay, so it goes to the Postmaster General's department. So I thought that was really nice, so I could add that as well. And I'd like to be able to see that 61. So I'll probably go under there, something like that. I may even have to cut this down a little so you can still see that. I also liked this little piece here of fabric, which I have used before in my craft, and I really love it. It's paper thin, this fabric. It's sort of like a chiffon or something, I don't know, but yeah, I really like that and how it sits and how it looks. Now I'm thinking that I need some kind of a stamp or something like that on there as well, as in a postage stamp. So I've got this little container which I keep all my postage stamps in. And I want something sort of to pick up these colours here. So there's this little one with a number 5 on it, which is quite nice. And then there's also this little one with a bird, which I thought was quite sweet as well. And that brings out the colours still here and here, but then here still looks a little bare maybe. I'm not sure, that's why I wanted the hinges on the other side. I've also got some other random little bits. There's a bit of map there, which is quite nice, and it's very old. That's out of an old map book that my grandpa had actually, that was in his estate stuff. So that's quite nice. That might look alright there. And then there's just a couple of random pieces. So this has got 88 written on it. That's just a whole load of looks like collaged pieces of paper there, and then this little saying here, it's got love always, which is really nice. Alright, so let me see what I can do moving those around until I get it somewhere where I want it to be. So I might just speed it up now, and I might end up cutting down a little bit of this here. I don't think it works that way. I'm just going to have to go back the other way. Feels like there's too much of this in the picture then. The other way. So if I do it there, and this the same, this can go here. See, I can pull that right across there then, if I'm not worrying about the hinges. So let's not think about the hinges just now. Let's move these around. I can come right up to the edge. And I like being able to see this other writing here as well. And I'm thinking this will still go here. And that softens the edge of that as well. That's quite nice, I like that. I'm still liking my bird. So that will be good here. That colour goes nicely in here. But I do like this one as well. So I'm wondering if I could use another piece of that fabric in here, just up under here, straight on the substrate, here like that, just so that it has something in the background, and put this one up here. And is that one too big there? Maybe this one up there. Yeah, I quite like that, because you still see a little bit of the hinge up there as well. That will go there. So it doesn't matter about covering over the writing as long as we can see the metal. And this will go here, which ties in nicely with that. So I think that is quite nice. And I'm quite liking that. So let me get that stuck down. And I'll do that now. I'm just going to use a glue stick, just good old magic glue stick, because that will be probably quite fine on this substrate because it's just paper. I'm just roughing up the back of this first, just so that it gives a little bit more of a textured look to the front of the... And see that? It's just sort of roughed up the face and around the wings a little bit. So that'll be nice. I just use an old scourer for that. do find you've got to be very careful with some of this old paper because it will just rip. Alright, so that looks good under there. It's lying nice and flat, which is good. So yeah, that substrate is good because it's just like cardboard, not well, yeah, just like, yeah, like cardboard, I guess. Alright, let's get some glue onto here, get this stuck down, and then we might trim it to see where we're at so that we don't put something too far over the edge. Right. And that's sitting nice and straight. And that's good. And let's just turn it over so we can see here where it's just too big. So I might just trim that now so that I can see where I want my next pieces to go so that I don't put them too far over the edge. Move them out the way, bring that back around. Alright, it is a shame that we're not going to be able to see the hinges, but you just can't do everything, I guess. That still needs a little bit more glue under there. I often find when that happens that I suddenly decide to put something under here, so I'm not going to stick it down right now until I'm 100% sure of what I'm doing. Alright, where's my next bit? My stove. Here it is. So that definitely is not going to go under there. It's definitely going to go over the top. Yep. And we wanted it brought right back to about here, hey? I think that's nice because you're still seeing the main feature. So let me just stick that on there. And my little piece of fabric that I want here, like that. And then my number 5 was to go over here. I do think that still looks nice. I'm happy with that. Alright, so let's get that stuck down then a little bit tighter. Looks like I need some new glue. New glue. Oh, this one's white. Look at that. Never mind, doesn't matter. Right, let's get this stuck down. Apparently with the challenge, all the cards go to Margarete, and then she disperses them out, so you don't know who it's going to get sent to, which I think is really nice. It's a great idea. So yeah, I want to be able to see as much of this old receipt as possible and as much of this as possible, because this is the metal part. And I suppose there's also metal on the hinges, but we're not going to see a lot of those, so never mind. I think that has to go down next. Just wondering what it would look like without that. If I lightly do that and do that, it just shows more of this, I think. I quite like the words, although I'm going to cover them with the fabric anyway. No, that's okay. I might just take you a tad out. It looks like you're a little bit close. Oops, wrong way. There we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, I hope you're not shaking around too much. There we go. Let's try that. It's a shame we're going to lose a little bit of the writing, but never mind. Just want to make sure the bottom's lined up. Find something like this or an old credit card is invaluable to making sure that your work is straight. Yep, happy with that. So that's good. Alright, next is my fabric. Now this fabric is so fine. It's absolutely beautiful and I love using it in my art. It just sits really lovely on the page. It sits almost flat like a piece of paper. I don't know what it is, it's very fine, like almost like chiffon. I only got it just in Spotlight here in Australia, but yeah, I just love working with it. It's really lovely. Now tomorrow we're off on a road trip to my hometown, so look out for that video. I always revisit my hometown with much trepidation. I don't know if any of you feel like that about the place you grew up, but it's not always my favourite thing to do. I'm taking my homemade journal with me, the one that I made in a wallet. And I'm going to do an episode from there. Great. Alright, now we've got to decide where my 2 stamps are going. So this one I really liked here. That's, I don't know, somebody sent me that one, I think. It was a freebie or something. Sitting on a piece of plastic, so I can sort of play around with it at the moment. Where I want it to go. I'm thinking about there, that sort of ties in this, and then of course I've got my little bird, which will probably go up here. I must have glue on my fingers because it's sticking to me. There we are. Oh dear. Alright, stay down. You can see why some people use tweezers. So maybe there, I'm thinking. I'm quite liking how that looks. And then I'm noticing that there's some writing on here which comes off the side of here, where I ripped it off. And I'm wondering if I should stick a little bit over here like that. Just leave it there and decide on these. So, what do I think? I'm thinking that one's definitely nice there. I don't think that one looks right there. No, that one doesn't look right there. Still not sure about that. Alright, so let's put this one on. Now, whenever I get sent these little stickers, I always glue them as well because I never trust the glue that's on them. I always think that it's going to ping off or something. Or, you know, the receiver of the postcard will get it and it will not stay in one piece for long, which wouldn't be good. I just need to use my little... And now we've got our Australian stamp with our Eastern yellow robin he is. How sweet is he? He's really cute. I do love birds. Now, still thinking up there in that corner, up here, which will just help to tie in a tiny little bit of fabric that's there and there, and the colour there and there. It's a little bit of blue which kind of matches the angel's blue tunic as well. So, yep, I'm liking that. Let's stick that one down. think it's so lovely to get stamps sent to you from other parts of the world. Whenever I do a journal, I always send stamps from Australia, and if other people are like me, they like receiving those. It's just something a little bit different to add to your journals. You know, you can get your own stamps easy enough, can't you? But can't always get stamps from other countries. So it's nice to receive those. All right, so I'm liking that. I'm liking the composition, I'm liking the layout. I'm absolutely loving this. I just love that whole illustration out of a magazine. It's just beautiful. Now, I did have a little tiny bit of map that I was mucking around with when we were putting it all together to start with, and I'm just not sure I'm even going to add it now. And I'm not sure about that piece of writing that I took off, this part here. Remember I said I'd think about putting it on there? Let's just cut it down a little bit. Just see, it might be too much. That was right along the edge, and then that one went up with the straight edge to the straight edge. Maybe like that. I actually think maybe it's a little busy. Alright, let me have a think about it. I don't want to overdo it. I'm thinking I didn't like that bit stuck down the edge there. It just didn't look right. I even stuck it together to try and lay it down. I just think it looks like too much on there. But I did sort out some brand new washi tape that I've got, and I'm thinking just a little tiny bit of that there might just be the trick. Honestly, I just don't think it looks right. I'm just liking the picture as it is. I'm just going to leave it. That's that. Decision made. Because if I faff around with it too much, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to end up ripping that side. And then I won't be happy. So, well, the other thing I thought of is because it's got postmarks here, from the original postmarks, what I thought I could do is put a postmark here or here to tie it in. I've got a little tiny round one somewhere. That's a triangle. That will work at a push. Also got that, of course, which they always look good, don't they, across. So we've got that to play with as well. Here it is, that one there. That might be just the ticket. Get my black ink. Just do a little tester so I can see which way is up. I've got like one on the back. Can you see that? There. And then one on the other side as well. So I think it's up that way, but I'll just test it out first before I do anything on there. Alright, so up the other way. This way. Yeah, that way. Alright. So let's give that a little burr. And what I might do is do it now, while I've only got a little bit of ink on there, and do it the other side here, just so that that ties in across the corner. Just there. Let's try that. Ah yeah, see? That looks quite good because that ties that little stamp in there as well. Can you see that? Quite happy with that. Yep, that's quite good. Let's do another light one here, just over the corner, without re-inking. Yep, that's good. Alright, so I'm going to ink the back just with Distress Tea Dye. I like this one. And Margarete did say too, if you want to write a little message on the back, that would be nice as well. So I might just do that. So basically that is my card done, ready to send to the postcard swap. Still not happy with this. You know what I'm going to do is leave it on my desk overnight and just go backwards and forwards and see what I think. But anyway, they're the two postcards. Take you out a little bit. Whoops, wrong way again. I need to learn which way to do that. So that's the one I did there, inspired by my grandma's recipe at the back. And then this is the one for the postcard challenge. So both are very different, but yeah, I'm happy with how they both turned out. I'm really liking the stamping there and there. That looks really good. I'm just thinking, just here, just looks a little bit blank to me. Although this is blank here, so I don't know, maybe I've just got to get used to it. And I did want to see the actual picture, you know. So yeah, so that's my metal there, is the actual stove is metal. And then there was metal on the hinges, which you can only just get a glimpse of in the background. But yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. So don't forget, I'm going to be taking my handmade journal to my hometown. And I'm looking forward to seeing my mum and adding another video to my Touches of My Life series. So tune in for that. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.